Alright, so this video, it's gonna be a tad bit different to, the usual type of content you're used to seeing on the channel. Nothing too crazy, but like a couple weeks ago, I made a video just kinda commentating over my gameplay and giving you guys some good insight into what decisions I was making, what was going through my head and why. And you guys really liked this and wanted more, so here we are. And I really do like these videos because decision making and positioning, it's by far one of the most important things in Apex. It is the most important thing in Apex. But if you don't, spend hours on this game a day like me, I know it's crazy. Some people actually have real lives, real jobs, and don't play this game for hours a day. It's just a crazy thing to me. But if you don't spend a lot of time in this game, it could be really hard to, always make the right decision. But by watching someone who does put the hours in and seeing how they make decisions, you can kind of adapt that into your game. So without further ado, we'll jump straight into it. Alright, so that first minute that you saw over the intro, like nothing crazy really happened there. I was just running at people because I was bored, like you do off spawn. But you'll see right now, I am on the top of this roof in the building in cap. And this is something I always do when I just don't have full control of the situation. I'm just trying to suss out what's going on, because high ground, I'm pretty sure in every game, it's always a good staple. It's basically safe from everything. And I see this team at like the little train station, get some beams off, and then I do hear one pulling up on teammate. They all having a little fight, so I just lay down some support, get them knocked, and then I instantly go over to catch them on rotations, because usually if one of their teammates is far out, isolated, you knock them, they're gonna try rotate, they're gonna try be the hero, save the day, and you just get the easiest beams on them. And you see, I don't fully straight away just push that Gibraltar. I want to quickly get an armor swap. You definitely do have to be careful on these rotations, when you're crossing someone, even if it's only one. Look at me, I'm out in the open here for like only 2 seconds and I get absolutely annihilated. So you really got to be careful on those rotations. I'm just waiting. I just want to get armor swap. I'm about to run at him. I don't just straight run at him. Oop, I don't know where that skip came from. I made sure it was clear first. I think my teammate did some damage as well, and I just quickly finish him off. But biggest thing to take from that, if you just don't know what's going on, if you just need to get some information of the area, of what's going on, just get high ground. And be careful when you're rotating over, because if you have to, stretch over some open area, you can easily get beamed like I did. Alright, so straight after that fight, I'm going straight to the next one. And you'll see in a sec, the first thing I do is I throw a thermite. You might be thinking, Puff, what was that? What was that nade? That was terrible. But I'm not throwing it to try to do damage on people. I'm throwing it to block my footsteps, because if there is a loud sound playing just anywhere in a fight, you are not going to get audio or any footsteps on any enemies. The sound in this game, it is busted, and I'm going to abuse it because I get no audio like every other kill. Unfortunately, this Wraith, she ends up seeing me and we just get into one of the sloppiest fights ever, like EMP. We're just trying to be, a little sweaty, crouchy Wraith mains. She ends up phasing away. I chase her, and unfortunately she's got her teammate to hold her position, so I can't get the knock. So I just phase back. There's no way on that HP I'm going to be able to kill that Mirage on full HP, So while I'm healing up, I actually get audio in this game for once. I hear Bangalore trying to climb up me. Poor girl had nothing and just gets one-tapped by the Mastiff. Alright, so I drop down to loot the box. Unfortunately, there's a team right in front of me. I didn't see him, but I instantly run. There's no point looting any longer. I turn around. This guy's trying to rotate it on me. He catches the beam. I do hear a guy behind me, and then I get behind this little head glitch. I saw that head glitch there, and I was like, alright, head glitching is way better than contesting out in the open. And I quickly get an armor swap because I want to get this thirst, because I don't know where his teammates are. And boom, it's a lifeline. Nades are huge against lifelines. If you see a lifeline res, just always look if you have nades. This lifeline is trying to rotate out, and unfortunately, well, fortunately for me, I guess, I catch her out in the open. And right now, their friend was there. I probably could have popped 2 cells. You probably should in that situation, but I kind of just ego chowed him, and I don't know where he went. He ran away, and this fight here, it does get a bit sloppy. But whenever stuff is out of your control, and this building right here, you know, if you're on a floor that it's going crazy, you can easily just climb up like I did, and it works every time. Even if they know you're climbing up, most of the time they're going to take the zip like that other person did, and you have more than enough time to get a bat. I end up phasing, going up this zip line. There's a lot going on, so I know I can escape pretty easily. Throw a thermite just to make sure if I know anyone's coming up, which it actually works. The only reason I want to know is because, like I said before with audio, it's pretty busted, and a lot of the times you're not going to hear people coming up the zip line at all. So now I'm just looting, and this is just... I don't know if I'm terrible or that Bloodhound has the best move in the world. I think I'm just terrible. But he beams me. I'm literally 1 HP. And as you'll see, when I'm 1 HP, I play very different. I'm not peeking out in the open. I am just peeking angles to make sure I'm confusing my enemies, only getting like a little bit of damage at the time, but you don't want to just be out in the open when you're 1 HP. I probably could have phased in that situation, but I don't know. When I don't play Wraith all the time, I kind of forget. As you can see, like I said before, like climbing up just one floor is such a good strat. Someone was coming and I needed to get out of there, and I just straight went up the floor. There was someone else there, but I just kind of did the opposite, went down to the other floor, and that Bloodhound had zero clue. Alright, right here, this is another really good thing to do. If you're about to drop on an enemy, like basically on their head, kick them, give them a little hit. Not only does it break your fall, but it also gives you like a nice 30 extra damage. And then the Wraith comes up, tries to save the day. I know she's coming, hit her with the beam, and then I just jump down, kind of flank her, I guess, and boom, she dies. And then this little Wraith tries to come out of nowhere, crouch spam me, classic Wraith mains, and unfortunately she tries to climb up, but she gets stuck on that middle floor that, you know, you can't access, so she gets a bit cucked by that, and I end up finishing her off. Okay, so the next fight, you'll see I walk up to this team and like, there's just nothing I can do about this. They have got the dirtiest head glitches, the dirtiest angles on me. They're using like snipers. I'm just a little old Wraith with my Volt and my Mastiff. So I just completely get out of there, and I get into a building that's pretty close to them, and what I start doing is I try to bait them. I try to just shoot my guns at absolutely nothing to try to get them to come in, because they're like, oh gosh, there's 2 people flying over there, let's go third party. It doesn't work this time, probably because I don't do it for too long, only because I didn't have that much ammo. But if you can do this and you can get your teammates to shoot around as well, this works like 9 times out of 10. It is a really good strat. Unfortunately, this time it didn't, and I climb up to the building next to me, and I've seen another team, and you didn't see it because I cut it out because there was like a lot of just dead video that would be boring for you guys to see. One of the team that's in front of me right now, teammate behind me, and I only saw 2 in front of me, so I was like, okay, this guy still has to be behind me, and he's probably going to be want to rotate out right around now, so I'm going to go and catch him off, which is exactly what I do, and I get a free easy beam on this Revenant, get him out of the game, which just makes my life so much easier. After I do that, I come back, I have to rotate, and I see that the team whose teammate I just killed are trying to rotate ahead of me, so I can't just go like kind of where they were and just keep going into zone, because that other team who I was shooting at before would have pressured me. So I go all away around the mountainy bit and climb up and get a little bit of a flank on them, and they're not expecting it at all, and I end up just completely beaming them. And so just after I finish that fight, you know, of course the other team comes over for the third party, and you know, like I said, they got snipers and they're still on some dirty angles, so literally I just sit back. I'm not going to waste my heals, and if you can't do anything range, if you're not basically able to get a knock, you know, you're not using long range guns, or they just have too much firepower on you, just don't waste your resources. Sit back and wait for something to happen. Maybe ring for push them into you, approach from a different angle, maybe wait for them to push you, you know, make their patience run out and they just want to rush you. And I eventually end up going to this truck just because it's in zone, and luckily they do end up pushing me, which, you know, it doesn't sound like a good thing, but it was the only way that we're actually going to be able to kill these guys. So this first guy just jump pads onto me by himself, and this is where I'm like, okay, I'm winning this game, because he has completely isolated himself from his team. I hear his friend coming to try save the day, and that is just the easiest beat in my life. If you see someone rotating towards you, especially to help their teammate, like I said in the front of the video, a lot of times they're just going to be tunnel visioned on, oh damn, I just got to get over here support, and they're really not expecting you to peek out. So I peek out, get a bit of damage on him, and then see him climb up. I just climb up myself from the back just so I don't get central from that other guy. He drops down and into the truck. I just get the quick easy beat, and now I'm like, this is light work. I am not stressed at all. I am confident in my 1v1. Let's just get on the top because I think he's going to pop a bat just in case. I mean, he has an alternator. If I die to this guy, even with that low HP, probably my fault. I'm just waiting for him to come to me. He comes up on the truck, gets beamed, and then boom, in a second we finish it off with a little, yep, there we go. It was a pretty easy fight because they all isolate themselves. A lot of time it's not going to be that easy. It kind of just shows you how important and how much easier 1v3s are if you can just get people to all come at you at once. It makes life just 10 times more easy, trust me. Alright, so I hope that guide gave you guys, you know, like a little bit of insight on just how I play, what's going through my head when I'm, you know, sweating out, dropping some banger games. You know, obviously everything is situational and not all this stuff is going to be able to apply to your games, but I'm sure a lot of it is as well. So, you know, hopefully take a bit of info, take a bit of knowledge away from this, and hopefully it can help improve your gameplay. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, you know, hit like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, and I will catch you all in the next one.